Hello, hello. I'm back after what I call another pause. Thanks for joining me today on the TLI's podcast. Today, I'm talking about the you don't know until you know kind of things. I had to take a few more weeks off for me to wrap my head around the kind of like the tailspin that I had gotten into. I went from hearing some extremely exciting news of that I was going into remission and that I'd have to do maintenance treatments and some medicine at home, for some time, just to make sure that I am, staying in a good place. And I went from, is this real? Did I really do this? To the floor literally falling out. I felt like the floor fell out from underneath me. My numbers spiked. Finding out like some of the treatments and the medicine that I've been on has impacted my kidneys that I've had issues with over the years due to having juvenile diabetes. So I was like, I went through a what the heck am I doing wrong, or like what is going on, and how do I turn this ship around? Like how can I get this all under control? Because what happened was fear had creeped in, or like I say now, my human stopped by for a nice visit, like popped out for a visit. And along with her, she brought fear, doubt, and don't let me leave out anxiety on like a whole new level. I was like, no, I will not lose this battle now. Not after I've fought this hard. I've done all this work. I've done these ridiculously painful treatments that are like really undescribable, the type of discomfort and pain. I mean, I've come so far. And I now am in love with this version of myself that I am not, I feel like I have so much left to do here. I have so much left to do. I had just watched my family and my friends get so incredibly excited and coming from like this, like just like awesome place, thinking that I had won this battle. I mean, how do you say, hi, so the battle we thought was over isn't over yet? I was in shock. Anyone that knows me knows that I never am at a loss for words. Like, I'm never at a loss for words. Like, I always try to make sure that when I'm with somebody, I always try to be the best part of their day and try to raise them up. Like, that's just the type of person that I am. But I was literally deer in headlights would explain it better. I think, yeah, deer in headlights would kind of explain it the most, because I was like, I'm doing all this work and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, that was just where I was mentally. I went from I'm going like a speed up, I'm edging back into work slowly, to a slow down halt. Like, halt. See, when you get to wake up every day for a few decades and honestly get to do something that you love to do. I mean, like, love to do. Like, I love real estate. It's like you actually have to pinch yourself and say, is this really my life? Like, do I really get to live in this happy place? Do I actually get to make a living doing what I love to do? I mean, there's just so many people, unfortunately, in this world that work a job or in a career that they just are not happy in, but they just stay in it because, they need the money to support their livelihood or this. I was never in real estate for the money. Like, I never was that real estate agent that got into it because I was like, I'm going to make a ton of money. Like, no. Real estate was in my blood. I mean, and if you know my story, you know where I started and how I transitioned into becoming the real estate broker that I am today. Well, was today before cancer came into my life, but will be again one day. I mean, I love real estate. I love every aspect of it. I miss my staging company. I miss my consulting company about investments. I miss every aspect of what I did for a living every day. I mean, when you have that drive and you are doing something that you love on that level, you cannot wait to be strong enough to get back at it. So I had to watch my plan change again, yet again. And I actually sat back and I said, I am so sick of being so sick. I was like, okay, so if you're so sick of being so sick, let's stop being so sick. Let's focus only on what being not sick feels like. So today I wanted to share some of my strategies for manifesting the life that I want to live through some of the changes and the challenges. And did I mention pain? I mean, I am in recovery from these past few years of treatments that I've been going through, that I know that the recovery period is going to take a few years. So, it's all about learning to embrace each day with purpose. If you're not happy with something in your life, then you need to change it. I mean, that's what I'm doing. So, okay. So on my podcast last week, or my last podcast a few weeks ago, I talked about the importance of knowing when to hit the pause button. Sometimes pressing pause is the best thing you can do. My recovery from my treatments are way more challenging than I could have ever imagined they would be. Pain? I thought I knew what pain was. I mean, I play ice hockey. I've played ice hockey since I was little. I mean, I've had some really yucky injuries. I mean, I've played lacrosse. I had some yucky injuries there. I mean, I downhill ski, had some yucky injuries there. I mean, plus, not to mention, I'm kind of klutzy, so I've had some really interesting injuries there. But seriously, you don't know pain until you know pain. I mean, and you don't know how strong you truly are until you're faced with something, like this. I thought I was strong when I lost my young husband. I thought I was strong getting through all the challenges in my life. I thought. It wasn't until this moment and this time in my life that I realized the strength that I truly have and all of us have within us. And I started to really realize something huge here. All of this is all okay. It is okay to not be okay. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but it is okay to not be okay. It was needed, all of this was needed for me, to understand that it is okay to not be okay, because the not being okay is really where I am right now. And all I had to do was release the fear, let go, and choose to live in the right now moment, like the present moment, and be thankful and be come from a place of love for all things and all people, and everything started to shift. I started to focus on all I will do in my life and started to not pretend, but focus on what my life is like and what I'm going to be living and all the love I have in my life and the life that I want to create for myself into reality. The more I focused on this, the more I started to really shift everything. My slip of going down the rabbit hole of fear and anxieties and all that stuff really started to trigger on my late husband's birthday, May 17th. It was I was getting snowballed with like health things. I was getting, his birthday came. I mean, I was just like, I just had this like wave come over me of like, I may never be a wife again. I may never, ever hear somebody say, call me mom. I may never, get to do the mommy things that I get to see my girlfriends do, every day. And I get to watch other moms do, the et ceteras, et ceteras, et ceteras. Well, I had to do a stop. Just stop, Tia. Stop. You have to let this all go, or you're never going to get better. So how did I do this? How did I let this go? How did I get my human that visited me with like all these wonderful gifts that I was like, nope, I don't want to participate in this. I went back to the basics of like what I started doing when I got a terrible diagnosis and I didn't know if I was going to win or not at that time. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I had already started slacking at the work that I had been doing, from like listening to frequencies, doing meditation, doing my 7-path self-hypnosis regularly throughout the day. I was noticing like my, not forcing myself, I don't want to say like this, like that my diet, I was shifting things around and like I was cheating a little bit. I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? There is no room for cheating here. There is no room. So I went back to the basics, and first I started by, I meditated to get myself present, like right now, in the now, this moment, not yesterday, not the day before, not thinking about tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I stayed present. I got myself leveled out and present. Then I started to write down what I wanted my perfect life to look like in detail. But this time was different from my last podcast because I actually believed it on like a soul level, that I already had this life that I was writing down. I mean, in detail. What am I doing day to day on a day-to-day basis, career-wise? How does my body feel in my perfect life? What do I look like? Where do I live? I mean, do you see what I'm going here? I mean, I just went on and on and on and broke down like every aspect of my life. I started meditating again regularly, knowing that this now has to stay part of my daily routine. I have to keep my body vibrating at the right vibrational frequency to keep myself healthy. I started sleeping again to the healing frequencies every night. There is no skipping a night allowed. No skipping a night allowed. It's TV off, frequencies on, time to go to sleep. I mean, these are hard and fast rules in my world now. I know why this all happened. I know why this all happened. Why did my numbers spike? It was because I wanted so desperately, more than anyone could ever imagine, to be back to the normal T again. The nonstop, go, old version of Tia. Instead of relaxing, taking a deep breath, letting go of the old version of Tia, and embracing this new and improved version of me. And I stress new and improved version of me. So I got on my Peloton and I said, okay, I might be able to only do 5 minutes at a time, but we're going to do it 5 minutes at a time. Now clip in and go. Don't think about it. Just do it to you. So over the next couple of weeks, I focused in on the basics, my frequencies, meditation, self-hypnosis, doing my workouts, doing yoga, keeping myself going, staying busy, reading books, like anything to empower me. My numbers started to creep down. I started to really, believe that I had won this battle. I also identified that I was suffering from this strange survivor guilt, like how did I beat this terminal cancer that I had with, not the best prognosis, and others don't. It was just, I was going through a lot of weird, undescribable emotions. Every challenge, every loss, every experience I've overcome in my life has made me the person I am today. So, you know what? I was beating myself up because I went through a temporary tailspin of my human coming out to visit me and bringing me all these wonderful gifts that I decided to say, well, thank you, human, for poking your head at me and giving me all these unwanted gifts. But I'm giving you back fear, doubt, and my anxiety. I said, thanks for visiting, but I really have no room for you, so I'm going to just, ask you to leave. And I no longer beat myself up inside that I'm temporarily physically and mentally exhausted for all that I have been through, over these last couple of years. I'm embracing it now. I'm saying, you know what? You're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know. So I woke up, it was about 5 days ago, I want to say, and I now see clearly. I understand and believe. I didn't know why at first I was starting Tealized in company. It's because I'm going to touch so many people over the years, whether they're enjoying a cup of coffee or tea in the morning, drinking an inspirational mug, or they're wearing one of my fun t-shirts, or they're enjoying burning a candle with a beautiful saying on it, or they're taking a course, or they read one of my books that I'm working on right now that will be coming out in the future, or they take the time to listen to a meditation, or they listen to my podcast like you are right now. Maybe they come to a retreat or seminar that I'm hosting. I will have something for everyone going through this wonderful life experience who's looking to make some shifts in their life. Whether it's they're going through cancer, or they're going through the loss of a loved one, or they lose a pet, or the list just goes on and on. Divorce, that's a huge loss. That's just not, people don't spend enough time on. I've never been through a divorce, but I've watched a lot of friends go through really terrible divorces, and it's just, there needs to be some time spent on that. So I was on the phone with my cousin Michelle, and we were having a beautiful conversation. She's just a wonderful person, and I'm so honored to have her as a cousin and, a close friend. It's just, how many people can say that they love their family on that level? I am just so blessed to love my whole family on that level. At first, we were just catching up, and then, she told me that she had come across this saying, and she didn't know where she saw it or heard it or whatever, but it was literally this simple. Life is about, you need to choose your hard. She said it and I said, what? So she said it again. You need to choose your hard. Then a bell went off in my head and I was like, wait a minute, choose your hard. Your hard is our free will in life. We all get to choose what our heart is. So I wanted to just kind of spend a couple minutes on this or a couple seconds. I don't know how long this is going to take. You choose, like an example here. Here's a couple examples. You choose not to work out and you eat too much and you're out of shape, which leads you to, I don't know, let's use joint pain or high blood pressure, which then equals more trips to the doctor. So your hard here is that you're suffering from being overweight, joint pain, and more and doctor trips. Or, and I have to tell you really quick, I know that one very well because that was my life before cancer changed my eating habits, my workouts, my whole well-being, and what I do in my life. But the next example would be, working out to be in shape, to feel good inside and out. So my hard now has switched to the workout because the workout keeps you in shape, feeling good inside and out. So it's all about picking the hard that you want to participate in with your life. So, in essence, you are choosing the hard to be whatever you want it to be. So I took the time, I got off the phone with Michelle, and I started to write down what I want my new hards to be in my life. I broke down my life and I started shifting things around. I'll be having I know it's coming soon, a whole podcast on choosing your hard. We all have to choose our hards. And we need to choose wisely. So I wanted to thank Michelle for leading me to that huge pivot point of wow, okay, so I already identified that I turned a hard around right in the middle of cancer, and I have some more hards that I need to work on. So we're gonna spend some more time on that in the next, podcast or the one after. But I just wanted to, really thank Michelle for leading me, to that saying. So choose your hard wisely. Okay, that's the huge message there. So I love being around people, but a secret is I love enjoying time alone with my dog Mason. Whether I'm painting or meditating or listening to music or sometimes just writing or journaling, I really like to get in touch with this new version of me. I am forever changed. This experience has forever changed me. It is like I have to get to know this new version of me all over again. I'm getting to know and learning about myself on such a deep level that it's just such a remarkable place to be. I no longer am going to be running away from this new version of myself. I'm embracing myself with open arms because I love myself so much more than I ever have in my entire life. And I am so, so proud of myself. Many people call me T.I. Jane because they think that I'm just like this warrior, fighter, powerhouse, trying to think of tons of words without swearing, but you can get what I'm throwing out here. I had to realize that I'm here to stay. This is not a temporary thing. I am this warrior. I am this powerhouse. I I do dream of having long hair again. I'm not going to say that I don't, because I do. But in all, I will always be the warrior of my life, not helping, but giving people the tools and the products that they need to be the warrior of their life. My message today is pretty simple. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to know when to press pause. It is okay if your human comes out to visit you with a huge hello and gifts that you do not want, that you need to let go of. And most importantly, it is so important to learn to pick the right hards. Like, even if you have to shift things around a little bit, pick the hards that benefit you the most. Get the most out of them. Don't pick the hards that don't feel good. Pick the ones that, maybe are a little bit more work up front, but they give you a better reward in the end. So I'm doing a lot of shifting to get through that. Remember, during a pause, pauses are not all bad. Some pauses are really good. Like, my pauses were really, really good. I got a lot out of my pause. I pressed pause, and I did the most growing and transformation during my pause. You can manifest the life of your dreams. Anyone can manifest the life of their dreams. Everything is possible. So I'm happy to be back, and I was so happy to spend some time with you today. Tune in next week for more of what I'm doing when no one is looking, because that is what counts, and that is what helps you to win whatever you're going through, whether it's cancer or life or just really anything that you're going through. So I leave you with this today, as I will on every podcast. Remember to love yourself first. And I say, remember to love yourself first, because that's like putting your oxygen mask on first before you can love anyone else to the full capacity of how you want to love them. So love yourself first. No matter what you're going through right now, know that it does not have you. I had cancer, but cancer never had me. I lost my husband, but the loss never had me. Do you see what I'm saying here? So let's make today the best day ever, and know you can always reach out to me with any questions or just say hello. Until next time, I love you all.